Poly Network hacked for $600 million worth of value. Guys, let's do a deep dive. And welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Hit that subscribe button right there and click the bell icon so you're notified when new media comes out. Your support is so appreciated. Thank you. Here we are on Twitter, where Poly Network, and not to be confused with Polygon Network, formerly known as Matic. Poly Network, a multi-asset cross-chain, right? So a bit like an AMM or a DEX, very similar to 1-inch DEX, for example, using multiple different protocols and aggregating them so that users can swap between them. They announced this morning, just a few hours ago, an important notice. We're sorry to announce that Poly Network was hacked on Binance Chain, Ethereum, and Polygon. Assets had been transferred to the hackers following addresses on ETH and BSC. We can take a look at those on the Block Explorer in just a minute. And of course, you can see links to those on the Block Explorers for each network down below. It's important to us to have all the facts there for you to be able to research for yourself. Quick reminder, nothing you see on this channel is ever meant to be legal, financial, or business advice. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. And at this point, we're just breaking news that's already public information so that you're aware, and maybe you're a participant, you should know, and maybe you can find some legal recourse, or you can find some other recourse to potentially get funds back. Not sure. This looks like it's pretty final, though. That's blockchain, a bit of the Wild West sensibility. So that's their announcement this morning. Here is Crypto Briefing's coverage of the event. They said that it's over 600 million worth of assets taken by hackers. They reprint, of course, or embed the tweet that we just took a look at. And they say that they've requested that miners and crypto exchanges blacklist tokens coming from the hackers' addresses. Miners. Crypto exchanges can definitely blacklist funds coming in from a certain wallet, or track the funds coming from a certain wallet, and as soon as it hits the centralized exchanges wallets, they can then do what they want with them. They're no longer in the control of the attackers. Miners, on the other hand, that's not something we can do around here. But at any rate, I digress. They said they urge the hackers to return all the assets they've taken. This sometimes works, right? This occasionally will pluck at the heartstrings of the attackers, who may be gray hats, right? They might not actually be black hat hackers. They might not have an interest in holding these funds indefinitely. Maybe just proving a point, so to speak. So sometimes this helps, just asking for the funds back. I doubt it. Never hurts to ask, right? 264 million stolen on Ethereum, 250 million from the Binance Smart Chain, another 85 million in Polygon. And we've got further breakdown of how those coins look in another article. We'll do two articles here just to show. The CTO of Tether, Paulo Ardoino, blacklisted the hacker's address, and those USDT funds are frozen. Ironically, even though we tend to think of USDC, or circles USDC, as being much more secure because of the relatively centralized control of the smart contract that governs the USDC stablecoin, those funds were not recovered. The hacker managed to transfer some of the USDC funds into the Curve stablecoin pool, right? Curve DAO stablecoin pool. And that makes the recovery basically impossible, right? Fundamentally impossible, because it's now been mixed in a larger liquidity pool. This is a danger, again, of permissionless cryptocurrency networks. It's dangerous freedom to do what you want if you hold the private keys. So there you go. But we do see that Paulo committed to the amount that was frozen there, shows the address, and makes it very clear. And of course, this is all viewable on blockchain. If you check out those block explorers down below, you can validate USDT actually did freeze those funds. They were able to make that happen. This may improve investor confidence in Tether over USDC in the coming days and weeks. Who knows? Actions speak louder than words, right? And definitely good faith actions on the part of cryptocurrency developers speak even louder than their smart contracts. If they do control the relatively centralized smart contract that gives them more executive control over the coins issued, then what they do in the event of hacks like this, that can sometimes improve investor confidence. Seeing that there's not much other regulation in the space, and there's not much else that can be done on permissionless networks unless there's a centralized control on a smart contract. So kudos Tether team. I mean, crazy 24 hours, right? Crazy 48 hours. Ted Cruz championing crypto, Tether doing the right thing, Circle getting hacked faster than Tether, or USDC getting hacked faster than Tether. Crazy times. But in June, the founders of a South African exchange, AfriCrypt, disappeared with over $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin, making it the largest theft in history, but this particular hack on the Poly network appears to be one of the biggest hacks in crypto history, making it, basically one of the biggest heists of all time for that same reason. However, I don't know that I totally agree with that. There's some more granularity to this. You can say rug pulls versus theft or whatever else. You can kind of boil that down a little bit more. The point is, this is a huge amount, and there are going to be people who are definitely personally affected by this. Cointelegraph also covered the event, saying hackers stole at least 600 million across 3 chains, and they break it down to 610 million across 3 chains. We'll do a little bit more of a meta-analysis of this in just a minute here, our own unique spin. Guys, again, before we go that far though, let me thank you in advance for hitting that like button and sharing this video. We are occasionally getting our views suppressed by YouTube. That's right. I know, unbelievable, right? Talking about cryptocurrency and permissionless networks, YouTube's never done that before. Thank you for sharing, guys. It really does help. But they go on to break it down. 273 million from Ethereum, 85 million in USDC on the Polygon network. They made that much more clear. All of the assets that are on the Polygon network are in USDC. And I think the speed of transactions and the relatively low cost of transactions, as well as some of the mixers available and the fact that Curve DAO, or the Curve, operates on the Polygon network, made it a lot faster for those attackers to be able to rinse those funds. Sometimes the slowness of block times in networks like Bitcoin, for example, wind up being a net positive for events like this, where there may be a need to shut down ancillary services within the ecosystem at the request of coin holders. Ancillary services, not the blockchain itself, but all the other places that the attacker might want to put those funds after they've stolen them. So there's enough time to just say, okay, we see that it's in that wallet address. We've got a couple extra minutes to respond, as opposed to just a few seconds to respond. Seeing the confirmations pour in every few seconds, there's only so much that a team can do to react, even with some automation in place, right? As those blocks come in and steadily confirm those transactions from the theft into the blockchain's history. 85 million in USDC, 253 million from the Binance Smart Chain, and then Poly also reported that RenBTC, WBTC, and Wrapped Ether were involved in the exploit. Those haven't even been accounted for. So the totals may well be over the amount stated, or maybe that's just what they're saying the assets are that they're strictly RenBTC, Wrapped BTC, and Wrapped Ethereum. Kind of an interesting basket of cryptos to take, as well as getting that USDC on Polygon. But clearly, these are all assets that have very high volume and that can be hidden back into the coin supply with relative ease after the attackers get away. Not too surprising. The OKX CEO Jay Howe offered to watch the flow of coins, said they'd try to manage the situation. Tether CTO, as mentioned before, reported that they froze 33 million in USDT from one of the affected addresses. So not really sure if that's a direct asset that was stolen from the exchange from Poly Network, or if that's something that they had rinsed some of the funds into, right? If they had exchanged some of the funds into that. Not totally clear right now, but we can take a look at those addresses and maybe do a little bit more analysis, figure out, does this all match up with the timeline of the hack? Beauty of the network and beauty of public distributed ledger technology is that we can take a look. Any person at home can check these block explorers and we can find out for ourselves, right? We don't have to trust, we can verify. But you've got some of these people who work in the industry offering their assistance. The Binance CEO, CZ, said that they were coordinating with security partners to proactively help. But he went on to say there are no guarantees. We'll do as much as we can. Stay safe. I'm a little bit concerned by that particular turn of phrase, right? If you're not familiar with Binance CEO's famous words, funds, seifu, that refers to a hack that took place on Binance some time ago with there being a bit of backing for the exchange. So something of an insurance policy for users of the exchange. A little bit disconcerting to see him invoke that verbiage here when it seems pretty obvious that these people's funds will not be seifu or recovered anytime soon unless something massive happens or the attackers somehow have some kind of a change of heart. But it's important to note that Poly Network, again, not Polygon Network, formerly Matic, Poly Network, that it's a collaborative effort between Ontology, Neo, and Switcheo, and they call it a heterogeneous interoperability protocol alliance, integrating the blockchains into a larger cross-chain ecosystem so you can swap tokens, Binance Smart Chain to Polygon Network, and from Polygon Network to Ethereum, any combination in between. It's a very powerful thing, but unfortunately, as we see power, there's a lot of danger in a permissionless system if there are any exploits found. Let's take a look just so far in the year 2021. How has this affected crypto in general? Well, here's a breakdown thanks to Decrypt.io or Decrypt.co. They have this infographic that shows that so far in 2021, one, from January to July, so far, DeFi hacks represented, and DeFi hacks meaning rug pulls from the developer teams or from exchanges that are saying, all right, we're going to issue a token and then whoop, all these funds. Legitimate hacks from third parties, so malicious third-party actors muscling their way in and stealing funds. So far, before this hack, represented about 361 million, the total hacks so far committed this year. Compare that to last year, where DeFi hacks only represented about 129 million. And the year before that, in 2019, before DeFi summer, there were, of course, zero DeFi hacks because there was zero happening on DeFi. But this is clearly a growing problem. And in fact, it's a 10x problem over what it was last year with the inclusion of these new numbers. Clearly, DeFi hacks, if you take away rug pulls, right, and teams maybe acting in bad faith, DeFi hacks now represent nearly 90% of the threat, right? The threat vectors face people who hold DeFi funds. Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, stable coins. Really, it looks as though you're 90% likely to have your funds hacked on some kind of a DeFi protocol versus having a team rug pull on you. So take that for what it's worth, guys. Thanks so much for watching to the end of the video. Stay safe, really thoroughly vet the exchanges and the dexes that you use. Thank goodness I didn't suffer from this particular hack. I have zero funds on Poly Network. If you do, I'm truly sorry. Hopefully we'll be able to, together be able to do something that helps to recover funds, or maybe, who knows, maybe their plea to the attackers to politely return the funds. Maybe it'll work. Fingers crossed. Really sorry for the affected, but guys, we gotta stay safe. All right, thanks for watching the video. Love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.